Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this presentation on SharePoint Online Admin Center. My name is Adnan Amin, and I will take you to this comprehensive guide on SharePoint Online administration and customization. I'm a Microsoft MVP for Office apps and services, and I have been working. I have over 17 years of experience of working on Microsoft technologies. I am currently working as a senior technology consultant at Olive Goose, and I am also a Microsoft certified trainer for past 14 years. And I blog at mstechtalk.com. You can reach out to me there, and we do a lot of community events like this one. And you can so reach out to us. You can follow us there and to get stay connected. And here are my Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn IDs, so you can stay connected with me on these platforms also. So SharePoint Admin Center is a vital tool for managing your SharePoint Online environment. In this presentation, I will cover the various aspects of the Admin Center, including how to navigate it, managing sites, lists, libraries, permissions management, features, and search configuration, user profile management, security and compliance, monitoring, and best practices for the administration which an admin would need. If you have any questions, any queries, you can submit in the question answer session, and we will be discussing that at the end of the session. Just to clarify that if you can hear me properly. I think we're good here. So SharePoint Online Admin Center overview. The Admin Center is designed to be easy to use and navigate with an intuitive interface that allows you to quickly find what you need. You can use it's a web-based interface, and you don't need a on-premise environment. You can use the left-hand navigation pen to access the various options, and the central pen to central pen will display the relevant information for the options you have selected. You can also use the search box at the top of the page. You can see on the screen, it's not showing up on the screenshot here. I will show you later to find specific settings or options. Let me quickly show you that what we are discussing, and we can also, I will also show you the demonstration alongside, so for better understanding. So this is the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. You can just log into admin.microsoft.com, and it will open this interface for you. So only a global administrator or a SharePoint Online administrator can view this page. And if you go there to show all, and there you will see all the admin centers you are part of. Click on the SharePoint, and it will open the SharePoint Admin Center of your tenant. So here the tenant, your name is NRPQK dash admin. So you can also access the SharePoint Admin Center by just typing this URL. And it will ask you for the credentials. This is the interface which we are discussing. You can see all the options on the left interface and on the right side also. And it's showing you the basic interface, basic overview of your site. Now, on managing SharePoint Online sites, creating a new site collection is straightforward from the SharePoint Online Admin Center. You can select the new option in the site section or in the active site section at the Admin Center, and then choose the type of the site you want to create. There are two type of templates available. One is the Teams template, and the other is the communication site template. There are some other old classic templates are also available if you need those. You can customize the site settings such as name, URL, template, permissions. Once a site is created, you can manage its setting through the site setting option by going to the site. Also, you can modify some of the settings within the through the admin center. So I'm going to create a new site. I'm on the admin center here, and I'm going to create a new site here, active sites. Just to clarify that, just a second. So you can see all the sites which are part of my this SharePoint Online tenant are listed here. I can create a new site, and when I click on the create option, it's giving me the option to create the new site. Just checking that. So here you can see the two templates here, and I'm just selecting the communication site template, naming it as day 23. And it also set up the URL. We can also modify the URL from by clicking here, and the site owner is on. I'm making myself as a site owner. You can also change the language here, and these are few more settings for the time zone and site description. I'm clicking finish here. Now, shortly it will create the site, and if I scroll down here, I can see my site. Tech Day Pakistan, the site is created here. You can see here. Now, if I click on this one, it will show me some of the properties of the site, which we will discuss later. And also, if I click on this URL, it will open the site for me, and you can see that how the site is created just with a few clicks. And here we have the site settings listed here, and we can change the interface, look and feel of the site, and all the site content is listed under site content. And we can go to the site settings for making further changes to the site. Now going back to the slide. Uh, Lists and libraries are where you store and manage data in SharePoint Online. To create a new list and library is very straightforward and very easy. You can select. You need to go to the site content and select new option. There you will see the templates for the lists and libraries. Select any of them, and it will add to your specific site. You can customize the list and library settings such as its name, description, can add more columns, and you can also configure the settings for versioning, content approval, metadata, and content types that suits your needs. So let's quickly go to that option. We created a new site here. I'm just closing this window. Here I went to the site content from this place, site content. And here I can see some of the lists and libraries are already created here. So it's a document library, it's a list with the event type structure. I'm going to create a new list. For example, I'm going to create, these are the different templates are available. I can create a blank list where I need to create the columns and set up the views. And I can use any existing list template, and it will have the interface like this one. I'm just selecting use template. I'm just taking the same name, not making any change, totally out of the box. And here it created a list for me, and I click on a new item. Able to join. Join. For example, I'm adding some issue on joining. and priority is high. Status new assigned to this is something where you can add your process flow to assign users, and issue reported date you can select today. And you can add the issue URL, images of the issue, whatever just like a tracking system. This is an add issue, and you because it's a tracking list, so you can also submit issues for other users. I'm just adding a dummy information here, and you can see the interface here. And there are also group by elements that how you want to check those issues, how these will be shown on your site. And if I go to the site homepage, you can also drag the list to the homepage. And you can see there are different components added on the site homepage. So this is something which you can play around. I'm going back to the slide. And for version controls, if we go to back to the any of the document library on the site, version control is normally done on the document libraries. And if I go to a document library, I can set up the versions. And so what is the advantage we get from version control? That it will help us to set up the one, track any of the changes. I'm going to the library setting. More settings. And here I can define the versioning. High level and minor level versions, document approval, and all those things are defined here from the settings. Now, so this is one of the critical area that managing permission is critical to ensure that users only have access to the data they need. SharePoint Online provides a flexible and granular permission model that allows you to control access to the site, library, and item level. You can predefine permission levels or create your own custom levels, and you can assign permission to individuals or groups in SharePoint. And you can also control external sharing and manage guest access to your SharePoint Online environment through Admin Center, and also some of the permission settings to the SharePoint site. Let me jump into this is an important area. So if I go to, if first we will discuss about the permission settings on a SharePoint site. Now we click on that gear icon, and here you will see site permissions. It will show you 3 groups which are created within SharePoint. One for with full control, the user will have full access on the site, and they can add content on the sites, can create new lists and libraries, and can also delete content and assign permissions. So the users, members, members have limited control. They can modify content on the site, can add new content, but they cannot play around the theme of the site and things like those. Visitors are the users who will just come to visit the site. They can only see the content on the site. They cannot modify any of the content on the site. So for modification, they should need the member access. Now this is at the site level permissions. And if I take you to the advanced settings, here we can see the 3 different groups here, and we can create a new permission level here. We can assign users permissions. These are the permission levels. You can see full control has the and they have given a description, and we can define create a full permission level here, and we can create a new group with a separate custom permissions. For example, I will give you a scenario here, and it's very common that you only want a user to modify the pages library only. Like the marketing can only modify the pages, but can do not have permissions to modify rest of the content on the site. So I will go to the uh, site content. Here I can see the permissions in the pages library, and I will create the settings. And here I can you can see the permissions here. I will stop this inheriting because right now it inheriting the permission from the site. I will stop this and can grant permission to any of the marketing agent, like, and everything under this folder, yes. And what type of permission you want to share, edit, contribute, or full control. In this scenario, will have the same permission level. So I will edit here, and this will send an email to Adli, and she will have the added permission on the library. You can see here, user added permission. It's not a group. Now, this is what we discussed, the permission level at the site, within the site. Now I will go to the SharePoint Admin Center. Under policies, on the Admin Center here, and if I click on that, is my site, that site. So here you can see permissions. You can, as a SharePoint administrator, can assign permission directly from here to the users, and can also add a administrator. So what is the admin role? Admin is a user who have access to all the content within that site. You can there could be a content library where you can remove the permission for the admin can remove the permission for the site owner also, but administrator will have access to all the content on the site. And policies this is for the external sharing, that how the external sharing would be done. This would be inheriting the external sharing permission of the site, but you can modify that who will have access. New guests, the users who are outside your organization. You can share content with anyone over the internet, and you can specify the users. And here you can also specify limit the domains, the users that who will have access. And here you can define the vendors or customers. And similarly, some other settings are available here, and similarly for sensitivity labels, which we will discuss later. And if I go to, let me check if I'm explaining the sharing later. Okay, I'm not. So this is the external sharing level, and you can define the most permissive and least permissive here. And this is OneDrive is also part of SharePoint because the content is managed in the same structured way, and so it's dependent. OneDrive permissive is dependent on SharePoint permissive. For example, I have changed it to the most, and we can set up the OneDrive with only internal only, that users cannot have permissions to share with external users. But if you are changing this to internal only, you cannot modify this one. This will not work. So it is dependent on the SharePoint permissions. And here there are more external sharing settings that you can limit to any external domain, and you can also block specific domains. And this is mainly used for customers, and if you have you have subdomains, you can add them here. But if you need to restrict the access, and these are for few more settings that who will have access and things like those. And the file and folder links and how much it will hold and what type of access you are going to give them. And similarly for access control, that unmanaged devices means that only devices which are registered with the domain controller on your organization, those could be Windows devices, mobile devices. And if you want to give access to users to unmanaged devices which are not registered, but on the do you want to allow them to access the files from uh, browser only, or from the client, like opening a Word document on the client application, or on the browser only. And will that be available offline? So these type of restrictions can be defined here, but this is limited. You need to apply set up the sensitivity levels and apply them on at the organization level, which will do a better job. Now I'm going to moving to the next session, next slide. So we have a list of features. SharePoint Online features allow you to customize and extend the platform to meet the organization specific needs. Uh, you can access available features uh, through the setting option in on the left hand navigation pane on SharePoint Admin Center, and the site settings or site collection features under the site within a site, where you can enable and disable features you need uh, as per your requirement. Now jumping back to the site, this is the site settings feature. And if I go to the now I'm going to the SharePoint site settings, and here you can see the manage site feature option showing up here, and also on the site collection features, because I am a site collection admin, so it's showing me these options. So here, if I go to this one, it gives me a couple of different options that which I can enable and disable on the site. These are different. Normally, the web part, the custom solutions which are deployed to the sites are shown up here, and you can enable and disable from here. It's still showing a couple of old features which are no more being used, but because those are still used by many older organizations, so it is still showing up here. And if I go to the SharePoint Admin Center settings, you can see all the settings. So here you can define the default homepage, home site for the SharePoint. You can share the URL here, and the pages, the different settings on which you want to share sync. If you want to show the sync button on the on the OneDrive side, on the document libraries, it will be configured from settings are available here. And OneDrive storage limit, if you want to change, it's also available for the organization retention policies, notifications, site storage limits, manual or automatic by default. So, so these all settings are available here, which you can modify. Now, if we go for the site search, SharePoint is a powerful tool. Search is a very powerful area in SharePoint Online. And you can earlier it was easy to configure for the sites, but now Microsoft, with the influence of my modern search, it gives more provisioning for site administrators and site owners to set up their site structure, and you can define metadata properties and taxonomies so that those can be on your document libraries and content, and those will help you to filter out the information. And if I go there, so search is defined as the Microsoft 365 level. You will not see the option here. Earlier, it was shown an option under the more features, but that is for the classic search only now. If you still having the older search, you can use that one, and you can define the search setting. But this is the older version. We will not be using this one. And if I go to the site settings again, here you can see the search options. These are the old search options where you can define the crawls and everything and what information to be searched. But here is the Microsoft search, which is also called a modern search. And this is one single place on. If I go to the home, right now I'm at the home of this site, and this will search any content from this site. For example, I'm searching Adnan. It's showing all the content relevant to Adnan on this site. Files, sites, news, images. Now, if I click on this option, it will take me to the SharePoint search page. And here I can see all the sites where I have access or I have recently visited. Now, if I search here, it will be searching throughout all the SharePoint sites where I have access, all the content. So you can see the uh, top bar here showing all the information here. You can also search for user profiles, people within the organization, files, news, images. Let's see what's in Power BI showing up here. I'm not sure because this is a demo tenant. It do not have the real-time information. So you can see here, all it's showing me the sites which I recently visited. And this is a search, and you can just play around with the search and you will find there's some great content here. Now, user profiles are now in SharePoint Online are important. It allows you to personalize the user experience and ensure that user can find connect with other users. And in older version of on-prem SharePoint, you need to configure manage the user profile, but on SharePoint Online, you do not need to manage the user profiles. And but the settings you still can customize some of the properties, but it's no more recommended. But you can set up some of the organization policies from there. If I jump into the site here, and now I'm going to back to the admin center. So all the users, organization users are listed on the admin Microsoft Admin Center. Active users, and you can see all the users are listed here. And here you will see all the property user related properties here. Taking a little time. Licenses and everything showing up here. But now if I go to the SharePoint Admin Center and the more features, this was available in the classic one also and is still available. And recently we got a requirement from a user because we hardly use it, that they want to disable the OneDrive provisioning for all the users in the organization because they recently moved to SharePoint on to Microsoft 365, and some of the users started using OneDrive, but they don't want to allow unless they launch it to the company wide. So for that, what we need to do that we went to the manage user permissions. You can see here it's showing up everyone except external user. So it means that all the users, and you can see this option, create person site. If this is disabled, then user cannot create the personal OneDrive. And if I enable this one, now it will in within few minutes it will enable apply this change to the throughout the tenant, and every user who come to the site will just click on this option OneDrive, and it will create the provision the OneDrive for the user. If that option is disabled, user can't see the OneDrive account. So there are a few small settings which are available through the user profile settings. And list of properties, you can add more properties there, but these settings are no more required. Now, security and compliance are the top priorities for any organization. SharePoint Online provides a range of features to help you protect your data and comply with regulations. You can access security and compliance settings to the SharePoint Admin Center, not SharePoint Admin Center, but the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. And you can set up the data loss prevention policies, information rights management from there. And let me take you to the site again. If I go there, and you can see here the compliance center, you can create the sensitivity labels, your policies for your organization, and that how the information will be protected. You can set up the policies at the document level and also at the site level, at the teams level, also for the emails to prevent the information. So you need to explore the compliance center for that purpose. We have almost 10 minutes left. Let me jump into the next slide. And monitoring your SharePoint Online environment is essential to ensure its health and stability. Usage analytics provide valuable insights into how your SharePoint Online environment is being used and can help you identify areas of improvement. You can access the usage analytics through the usage option in the left-hand navigation pane, and here you can view reports on site usage, search usage, and user activity. You can also configure settings such as user and data retention and search usage tracking at the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So because this is a demo site, if I go to home, you can see some of the graphs here, the usage graph showing up here that which sites are being used here. I can navigate, I can move the settings here. These are, and you can set up the home page based on your requirement. And if I go to that report section, it will show me if there is an outage, any outage at the Microsoft 365 level, it will be showing me all the messages here related to the SharePoint and also the usage details. So we do not have much content here to show up here to you guys. That's why it's not showing any valuable information. But if we go to the SharePoint Admin Center, it also have some reports here. Like if I go to the usage, again, I think it's showing all the information for the all different areas here for the SharePoint OneDrive. If I want to check for the OneDrive, I can see it here for the OneDrive users. For SharePoint. And similarly, we can also verify the health dashboard here. This is for the Microsoft 365 Health dashboard, and if there's any issues, any queries, it will be showing up listing down showing up here and also on the Admin Center homepage. If I go at the top, you can see that no issue reported here, showing up the service health. So these are important areas for the SharePoint online administrator, not for the site administrators. So if they have any issues, they can, if some issues popped up by multiple users, or the support guys come to the site administrator to verify that if there is any health issues on the SharePoint Online tenant. Now there are more. If one key important area is the migrating content to SharePoint Online, which could be a complex process, but Admin Center provides tools to help you manage the transition smoothly. You can access the migration settings to the migration option from the left navigation, and here you will see you can select the source of migration and can create migration jobs to move content from your on-prem environment or your third-party cloud location sources. And you can also monitor the migration jobs from here. Click here on the migrations, and you can also use third-party tools. But here on the Admin Center, you can see the migration manager provides the migration from different sources from FileShare, Box, Google Workspace, Dropbox, and similarly for the on-premise, you can use SharePoint Management tool, which allows you to migrate content from SharePoint 2010, 13, and 16 on-prem environments to SharePoint Online. And it's really easy to configure those. You just need the administrative access at both ends. Some more features, the terms, let me do the, if I click on that more feature option here, it's showing me some classic features like the term store is a key feature in SharePoint Online that allows you to manage metadata and taxonomy across your environment. You can access the term store through the term store management option. If I click here, and here you can create and manage terms, sets, groups, labels to ensure consistent metadata and classification throughout your sites. And this helps on the search also. You can see here the different terms are created, and because we do not have any site, can you have created any custom term set, but you can create it as per based on your need. Hybrid configurations. The hybrid configurations allow you to extend your on-prem SharePoint environment to SharePoint Online, and enable seamless collaboration between the two environments. You can access hybrid settings through the hybrid picker option in the left hand from here. From this option here, showing on the right side here, by clicking, you need to go to more settings to reach out here, and click here, and this will show you the settings what you can set up here, and you can configure hybrid OneDrive, hybrid sites, and hybrid set settings to enable the integration of your on-prem environments and SharePoint Online. And why this is required? Because when you have already have too much content on your on-prem environment, but you want to move to SharePoint Online, but it would take time. The transition could take time, a couple of months or a year also. So to take the advantage of SharePoint Online with your existing content, you can configure the hybrid, so to get the best of both worlds. And similarly for the app catalog, if we talk about the app catalog, is a central location for distributing and managing custom apps in SharePoint Online. You can access app catalog through the apps option here, and here you can upload and deploy and manage custom apps for your organization. You can configure settings such as app permissions, deployment policies, and licensing here. And these apps will be shown as a features on your SharePoint Online sites, and also you can deploy apps to the teams from here also. You can see the app catalog here. You can tenant app catalog, and the Teams applications are also deployed through here. And your SPFX application can act as a team, and you can upload this from here. Now SharePoint. So now if we're going to wrap up with some best practices for SharePoint Online, include governance and performance and scalability, disaster recovery, and business continuity, upgrades and maintenance. To get most of the out of this SharePoint Online, it's important to follow the best practices for administration, like regularly reviewing and optimizing your site architecture and permissions to ensure that they align with your business needs. And it's very important because it's a possibility that if you have users are contributing content on different sites, they should know where to upload what content. It's not that the HR is only uploading content, HR related content to their site. As is any secure content, they need to make sure that they are moving to the right locations. They're not sharing it with the end user folders. So these are this is a very small, simple example, but there are strong guidelines required for the governance perspective to get most out of it. Taking if you are using an online, then taking backup of your data to ensure that you can recover from any loss or data loss or corruption. And if you are and I have seen the scenarios that you are seeking documents from SharePoint Online document library to local, and they delete it from their local drive, and it's synced on online, which remove all the content from the online document library. That is recoverable within 93 days and to the recycle bin. But still, you need to be careful while setting up the permissions. And you know that if you are making any changes, it will impact others also. monitoring and optimizing the usage analytics to monitor and optimize the usage analytics to identify areas of improvement and ensure potential performance, and also stay up to date with the recent changes and features on SharePoint Online, which can help you to take advantage of new capabilities and improvements available with the SharePoint Online, and which can help your business. So now the SharePoint Online, if we take a quick review, what we have learned today, that it's a that by following the best practices for the administration and using the features and settings available in the admin center, you can ensure that the users have a productive and secure collaboration platform that meets your organization's need. And thank you for attending this session to the session on SharePoint Online Admin Center. And if you have any questions, feedback, uh, please feel free to reach out to me here, or after the session. Also, you have my social media accounts on the screen on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you can also follow MS Tech Talk, where we blog and do similar events for more details.